everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we're making this super fun boho pom hat. This hat actually matches the boho tassel scarf I just made recently, so make sure you check out that tutorial to match this hat. Now today I'm just going to get right into the supplies, frequently asked questions, and get into making this fast, easy project. We are using Red Heart Super Saver yarn. Big thank you to them for providing the yarn for this project. I will just list off the colors. We're using a lot of the same colors we used in the scarf. So their main colors are the dusty gray and black color, and here's the label. You can see Red Heart Super Saver. This is a size 4 medium yarn. And you can use an Aran yarn or a double knitting yarn, any type of yarn that you want. These are the two main colors, gray and black. And then we are using Papaya, which is actually with love, Red Heart with love. But you can use the flamingo color, the color flamingo in Red Heart Super Saver, and that's basically the same color. And then I'm using Jade here. Then there's Pumpkin, Aran, then there's a little navy down here, and Aruba Sea. So these are all the colors we're using in the hat today, but you can use any colors you want, and I will have a link in the description of this video and on my blog where you can get the exact colors we are using in this hat. We are working from the top down here, so we're going to be working in rounds, and we are working with single crochets and spike stitches today. And to do that, we need a crochet hook, so we are using an eye hook today, which is 5.5 millimeters, and this fancy crochet hook is from the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy. I will put the link in the description of this video because everybody asks me how it works and how comfortable it is. You just have to hold it either like this, how I hold it when I crochet, or if you hold your hooks like this, you can crochet like that as well. Also, there are many different styles and designs on their Etsy shop. You can see here I have other hooks available, but I'm using the eye hook, which is 5.5 millimeters on this project today. Also, you're going to need a scissors and a yarn needle to cut yarn and sew in some ends. And then I have this cardboard here because we are going to be making a pom. So I made I had my dad actually make me this. So he made me these cardboard cutouts here, but if you have a legit pom maker, I'll put a link in the description of this video for a real pom maker that you can get. Otherwise, you can just cut some cardboard and make a pom with me today. So frequently asked questions can I make this hat smaller? You can definitely make it smaller. This hat is going to fit an adult size head, which is 22 inches around here. But you can make this smaller. I will put the links, or I'm sorry, not links, I'll put the information for smaller sizes in my blog, but I do have a measure tape here so we can measure this out. Like I said, this will stretch up to a 22-inch head, as you can see here, stretching on my thing here. It goes to 11, so times 2, because we're going all the way around here. We are going to be going around the 22-inch head there, and then the length of this one is about 9 inches stretched, and I'll have centimeters all in the notes section of my blog. So this is about 9 inches from top to bottom here. 9 inches down is about 23 centimeters. So I'll put all that information in the notes section of the blog, and then in the written pattern I will let you know where you need to stop increasing and then go on to not increasing, but just make this as long as you need to. And I'll put other hat measurements in the blog so you can end on a certain amount where the crown of the head is, and then the measurement across there will be on my blog, and then also how long you need to make this hat to fit the size head you want it to. So infant, child, or teen, or whatever, you can make this hat smaller. And then the pom just depends on how much you wrap around your pom maker. I made a super giant pom, but you can make smaller poms or a big giant one like me. So that is the frequently asked questions. This is a lot of fun to make. Big thank you to Red Heart Yarns for providing the yarn. Big thank you to my dad for doing the videography, editing, and photography calligraphy for all of the videos at YARNutopia.com. Make sure to check out the links in the description of this video. We'll have links to all of these supplies and my blog for the written free pattern. And while you're there, make sure to check out the right-hand sidebar on YARNutopia.com under the picture of shenanigans, so you can click the support button. There's shenanigans in the corner way over there. Peeking out. So if you find his picture on YARNutopia.com, make sure to click the support button underneath his photo so that you can support YARNutopia and we can keep bringing you these free crochet tutorials that are wonderful. So let's just get started and make this fabulous boho pom hat. Alright, I'm going to start with the dusty gray color, and we're going to start off with a slip knot. So let's put our short end over the long end, then fold this down and pull that long end through, and then pull tight, and there's your slip knot. And then insert your hook right into that loop, and we can begin. So to start off, let's chain 2, so yarn over, pull through, 1 and 2, and in the second chain from the hook we are going to put 9 single crochets. So go into that second chain from the hook, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, there's a single crochet. So again, go in, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. There's 2, here's 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so you can see how it's kind of working in a circular form all the way around that chain. And now we're going to slip stitch to the first chain of this, or I'm sorry, the first single crochet of this round. So count back 9 if you need to, go into the first single crochet stitch, and then yarn over and pull through that loop on your hook for a slip stitch. So you have 9 stitches in round 1. Now don't worry about this hole, it is going to be covered by the pom. Also you can sew in this straggler here to kind of cinch that closed, and I'll show you in a minute here. Let's go on to round 2. Let's chain up 1, and then we're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So including this first stitch right here that we slip stitched into, we're going to go into that stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, again go back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So there's 2. Go into the next stitch and put 2 single crochets in there, and in each stitch around put 2 single crochets. So at the end of round 2 we'll have 18 stitches. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll meet you up where we'll change color at the end of this round. Okay, at the end of row 2 we are going to change color. So before closing here, we're going to slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch. Okay, so not this slip stitch and not this chain up 1 here. We're going to go into the first single crochet stitch right here. But we're not going to yarn over with our gray color, we're going to change color. So I'm going to drop that back there. Okay, kind of pull it tight there. And I'm going to use black. Now we're going to hook that on and pull that through the stitch and the loop on our hook for a slip stitch. You can pull the old color tight, pull this new color, and secure it. And then we're going to chain up 1 to go on to round 3. And now round 3 we are going to start with the spike stitches, and we're going to put 2 spike stitches in each stitch around here, working in the stitches from round 1. So you can kind of see there are little gaps here. We're going to go into there. So each of these 2 stitches is worked into that stitch there. Let me make sure you can see it right here. So we're going to go down into there. Okay, where these 2 stitches are worked into, we're going to go down into there. From round 1, yarn over and pull through and pull up, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, that's a spike stitch. Okay, if you saw the video tutorial for the boho tassel scarf, you'll see that we did spike stitches in that a lot. So going back into that same stitch down there, we're going to put 2 spike stitches in each stitch of round 1. So yarn over and pull that through and pull up, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, Then hop to this next stitch right here where these two stitches are worked into there. We're going to go in, yarn over, pull through, and pull up, yarn over and pull through 2. Go back in, then yarn over and pull up, and yarn over and pull through 2. And we're just going to put 2 of these spike stitches in each stitch of round 1, working around round 2. Just like that. So you'll still have 18 stitches around for round 3 here. We're on round 3 now. So I'm doing that, and when you're working around, I'm going to pull this out real quick and show you something else. We're going to sew this end in, this straggler from the very beginning. And as we make this hat, make sure to sew in your ends as you go so that you don't have to do it all at the end, because we are going to be changing color quite a bit, especially when we get down to adding the other colors. But you can see here I'm just going to the base of my stitches from round 1, okay, with my yarn needle, and just pulling and cinching that closed and just sewing in this end then. So we're going to want to sew in all of our ends as we go. Oopsie. There we go. Just like that. And then when you're satisfied with it, you can trim that shorter. And cut that. There we go. Okay. So back to it. I'm just going to put spike stitches in each stitch around. We're putting 2 spike stitches in each stitch from round 1. I'll do that. Still have the 18 stitches, and then I'll meet you up for round 4. Also, I did want to mention, do not cut this gray strand from when we dropped it, when we changed color to black. Do not drop this, because we will actually be picking this back up a little later in round 5. Okay, so we're gonna go on to round 4 now. We're still working with black here, so let's slip stitch to the first spike stitch. Okay, not this chain up 1 here. Just go into this first spike stitch, then yarn over and pull through and through to slip stitch. Okay, that was round 3. So for round 4, we're still working with black. We're going to chain up 1, and we're going to put 2 single crochets in this first stitch that we just slip stitched into. So go in there and put 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2, okay, just in the stitch from round 3 now. We're working into the spike stitches here. So 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And repeat that sequence all the way around. But keep this gray on there, because we are going to trail that up for the next round. We're going to change color after round 4 here. So put 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, and just repeat 2 single crochets in the next, 1 single crochet in the next, and you should have 27 stitches at the end of this round 4 here. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll change color for round 5. Okay, going on to round 5 now, we are going to change color. So like I showed you earlier, we're going to go into the first single crochet stitch. Okay, so not this little chain up 1 here. Go into the first stitch right here. And then don't yarn over with the black. You can pull the black a little tighter there, but go pick up from the back here. You can see this gray strand from round 2. We're actually going to trail that up in the back here. That's going to be the inside of the hat. Nobody's going to see it. You're going to yarn over and pull it through that stitch. Oopsie. Yarn over, pull it through that stitch, and pull through that loop on your hook. Just like that. Okay, you can pull everything tight. And now we have gray on our hook. We're going to chain up 1. And now we're basically going to repeat round 4 here, okay, for round 5. We are going to put 2 spike stitches, so we're working spikes now, not single crochets. We're going to work them into round 3. So go down into round 3 here in this first stitch where these 2 stitches are worked into. We're going to go down in there, yarn over, pull through, and then pull up, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And go back in, yarn over, pull through, pull up, yarn over and pull through 2. Now in the next stitch right here that this single crochet is worked in, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in there. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2. And now we're just repeating that sequence all the way around, working around round 4 into round 3 is spike stitches here. So go into this next one, putting 2 spike stitches in there, and then 1 spike stitch in the next. Okay, so you will still have your 27 stitches around, and I'm going to do that with the gray, and then I'll meet you up. We'll go on to round 6 together. Alright, going on to round 6, we are sticking with the gray color, so we're going to slip stitch into this first spike right here, okay, not this chain up one. Just go into the first spike, yarn over with the same color, pull through and through. Now I still have this black one right here, strand, still attached because we will be picking that up in round 7 here. So let's go on to round 6 though. We are going to chain up 1. And for round 6, we're going to increase by putting 2 single crochets in this first stitch. So right where we slip stitched, right in there, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then go back in there for another one, just like that. Then we're going to put 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So go into this next stitch right here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and the next one, single crochet. And we're going to repeat that whole sequence all the way around. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1 and 1. Then 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Okay, so repeat that around. At the end of round 6, you'll have 36 stitches around. So I'm going to do that, and we'll change color for round 7. Alright, going on to round 7, we are going to slip stitch to this first stitch, but we're going to change color. So not this chain up one, just like I showed you in the previous rounds. Go in, okay, pull this old color, just like that, and then pick up your black here, yarn over with that, and pull it through the stitch and the loop on your hook for a slip stitch. And you can pull everything tight and secure. And then chain up 1, and for round 7 we are going to do our spike stitches, but repeating round 6 here. So 2 spike stitches in the first stitch, working into the spike stitches from round 5 here. So going into the stitches from round 5, working around round 6, going down in there, yarn over, pull through and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, and again back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, and then 1 spike stitch in the next 2 stitches here. So down in here, yarn over, pull through and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, and the next stitch. Okay, and just repeat that sequence all the way around. So 2 spikes in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 spike in the next 2 stitches. And we're working in the spike stitches from round 5 here. Okay, we're working around round 6. Okay, and the round we're on right now is round 7. So I'm going to do that all the way around. You'll still have the same amount of stitches, 36 stitches for round 7, but in round 8, next round, we're going to increase. Alright, just finished round 7 here. Going to slip stitch into the first spike stitch right here. So go in, yarn over, pull through and through. We're still keeping this black here. We're going to chain up 1, and we're going to work round 8 now. So we're going to increase. Let's put 2 single crochets in the first stitch that we just slip stitched into. Let's put 2 single crochets in there. 1 and 2, and then put 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches this round. So 1, next stitch 2, and next stitch 3, and we're working into the spike stitches from round 7 here. So now we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. So 2 single crochets in the next spike stitch, so 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 1, and 1. Okay, and just repeat that. So I'm going to do that all the way around, and then we will change color for round 9. Alright, just finished round 8. Here we should have 45 stitches at the end of round 8. Okay, so this is what our piece looks like so far. We're going to go on to round 9. And if I ever forget to say any stitch counts or anything, you can always refer to the pattern. Let's go into the first single crochet stitch right in here. Okay, we're going to pull this black tight, and then we're going to drop it and pick up that gray that's in the back here. Yarn over with that and pull it through and through for a slip stitch. Pull tight, everything. And I've dropped the black color in the back. We're going to hold on to the gray now, chain up 1 with that. And we're going to do spike stitches, but repeating that last round, round 8. So we're going to work into the stitches from round 7 here, down here, putting 2 spike stitches in the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 spike stitch in each of the next 3 stitches. So down here, there's 1, next one is here, 2, and the next one is here, 3. Okay, and just repeat that all the way around. So 2 spike stitches in the stitch from round 7, working around round 8, 1 and 2, 2 in there, and then 1 in the next 3. So 1, next stitch, 2, next stitch, 3. And then repeat. So do that all the way around. You'll still have the same amount of stitches. What should I say you would have? Round 8 has 45 stitches, so round 9 we're on right now should also have 45 stitches. So I'll meet you up then and we'll go on to round 10. Alright, just finished up round 9 here. We did the spike stitches, still have 45 stitches around. Now let's do our last increase, keeping the gray color. We're going to slip stitch into the first spike stitch here, yarn over, pull through and through, just like that. And now we're going to chain up 1. And for round 10, it says to put 2 single crochets in this first stitch that we just slip stitched into. So working into these spike stitches here in round 9. So 1 and 2, and then put 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then just repeat that around. So put 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then put 1 single crochet in each of these next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, at the end of round 10 you'll have 54 stitches around. So I'm going to do that and then I'll meet you up when we'll change color for round 11. Alright, finished round 10. We have the 54 stitches around, so now we have to change color. Let's go into this first single crochet here, drop this gray here, and pick up the black that was in the back of our work and pull that through and pull everything tight, and then chain up 1. Okay, now going on to round 11 here, even though we're done increasing, we still have to repeat what we did there to keep the 54 stitches. So we're gonna work in the spike stitches from round 9 here, okay, and we're gonna work around round 10, but repeating what we did for round 10 with the stitch counts, but we're working spike stitches. So let's go in with this first stitch here where these 2 are worked into. We're gonna put 2 spike stitches in there, so 1 and 2, and then 1 spike stitch in each of the next 4 stitches. Okay, so going down in here, yarn over, pull through and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2. Next stitch, 2, next stitch, 3, next stitch is 4. And then just repeat that sequence all the way around so you continue to still have the 54 stitches. So put 2 in here, 1 and 2, okay, and then 1 spike stitch in the next 4 stitches, working in the stitches from round 9. Okay, we're just working around round 10 basically. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just repeat. So do that all the way around, and then our next round, which is, let's see here, round 12, it will be a little bit different. Alright, we still have our 54 stitches around. Now we are done doing any increases or putting 2 stitches in each stitch or to increase like that. We are done doing that. Our hat is going to be big enough, and if you want to, what you can do is lay your circle down like this. This is considered the crown of the hat, okay? And I'm going to measure this across here. So it should be around 6.5 inches for an adult size here, and you can kind of stretch it out because it will be stretched around your head, and that's going to fit my head. You can see it's 6.5 inches across here, almost, pretty much. I mean, it is going to be stretchy, so very close to the 6.5 inch mark, and that is about 17 centimeters. About, yeah, 16.5 centimeters. So you can, you know, obviously if you needed to make this a smaller hat, you could have ended your increase sooner and just followed along with then rounds 12 through whenever you need to make your hat size. And I will put the hat sizes, again, like I said earlier, hat sizes will be in the notes section of my blog. So if you want to know the crown measurement across, and then how tall your hat should be when your hat is long enough, how tall it needs to be for the size you're going to make. But this will fit an adult head, so let's continue. Now we are going to go on to round 12 here. We're just going to single crochet around. So let's slip stitch to this first spike stitch right here, yarn over, pull through and through, because we're staying with the black yarn here. We're going to chain up 1, and now we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around, so no increases anymore. This is going to fit an adult head, so I am making 1 single crochet in each spike stitch around, just like this, and again we'll have the 54 stitches around. So I'm going to do that, and I will meet you up for round 13. Alright, I'm just slip stitching to the first single crochet of this round, just like so. Go in, yarn over. Oh, we're going to change color actually. So I'm going to drop this black color here and pick up the gray color in the back and yarn over with that and pull it through both of those loops there, just like that. And then chain up 1. And now for round 13, we are going to do spike stitches. So let's go down into the stitch from round 11 here, okay, working around round 12, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, and just putting 1 now in each stitch around for the same amount of stitches, 54 stitches all the way around, just like this, okay, and that's it. So I'm just gonna spike stitch all the way around, and then I'll meet you up for round 14. Alright, going on to round 14, we're going to slip stitch into this spike stitch right here, go in, yarn over, pull through and through with the same color, and now we're going to chain up 1, and we are going to just single crochet around. So very similar to round 12, we're just single crocheting around now. So now what I want you to do now, I'm not going to make you watch me do the rest of these rounds because all we're doing is alternating these 2 rows. We're doing a spike round and a single crochet round. And you want to make sure you do the same colors. The spike round is the same color as the single crochet round above it. Okay, so round the odd number rows, the odd numbers like row, you know, it was 9, 11, round 13 is here. We did spike rows. The even numbered rows, so rounds 10, 12, 14 is the one I'm on right here, are single crochet rows. Okay, so round 15 is going to be a spike stitch row, and I'm actually going to change color after this round to do my spike stitches. And then round 16 is a repeat of a single crochet row. Okay, so I'll have the color combinations and colors in each row on my blog, so you'll see which colors I'm using for each row if you want to, you know, make the same exact hat as I'm making. So you can check out my blog, YARNutopia.com, and I'll put all of that information for which colors I'm using, because I'm actually going to change color and use these other colors that I have here in this hat. So I'm going to have I'm going to start first with the, it's going to be pumpkin for 2 rows, the spike row and the single crochet row, then this papaya color here. Then we're going to do Aran, and then for 2 rows, the Aruba C for 2 rows, then the jade color for 2 rows, and then we're going to end with this royal color. But I'm actually only going to do a spike row for my very last row, and I'll show you that later when I get there. But I'm going to do black and gray until round 28. Okay, so I'm going to finish with black, and we are going to go to repeat these 2 rows until round 28. And then when I get to round 29, because it's an odd numbered row, 29 is going to be a spike row, and that's going to be with the pumpkin orange color. So you can see all that in the photos, and obviously in the written pattern I will have that information, but just alternate these 2 rows now. Just do a single crochet row and then a spike stitch row, and then a single crochet row and then a spike stitch row, and just do that alternating to however long you need your hat to be. I am going to alternate these 2 colors, gray and black, until row 28, and then when I hit row 29, I'm going to add the pumpkin color, and I'm going to do 2 rows of each of those colors. So 2 of pumpkin, 2 of papaya, 2 of Aran, 2 of Aruba C, and 2 of jade, and then I'm going to end with 1 row of royal. And when I finish row 39, I will meet you up, because we'll do a little discussion on what I exactly did, and then we will finish off our hat. We still have to make a pom, so I'm super excited to make that because it's super big and fluffy. So we'll meet up when I am finishing round 39. So good luck, make your hat, and I'll meet you up when we're ready to make our pom. Okay, let them crochet. Alright, I'm just finishing round 39 with the royal color, and when you're finishing, we're going to slip stitch to the first stitch, kind of like we're going on to a next row, so just yarn over, pull through and through, and then to fasten off, I'm going to chain 1 and cut my yarn, and then pull it all the way through that chain, and then pull tight, and that fastens it off. So welcome back. I'm just gonna kind of explain what I did here. So this is our hat, and I did rounds 14. Let's see here, we ended on round 14, and 15 was a repeat here. So we did rounds 14 through 28 in the gray and black. Okay, so 14 was a single crochet round, and then we did round 15 was a spike round in black. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28 ended with, so 27 was our spike row and 28 was our black single crochet row. You can see this orange here. I introduced the orange, and that's the pumpkin on row 29, and that row is a spike row. Then you can see underneath these pink stitches here is a single crochet row, and that is our row 30. Okay, our single crochet row. Then I dropped the orange and added the spike stitches. Next for row 31 was the papaya color, also known as flamingo in Super Saver, but I used with love in papaya, and then the single crochet row. Then I did the Aran color with spikes and single crochets, and then the Aruba C with spikes and single crochets, and then the jade with spikes and single crochets, and then I ended with royal with spikes. I didn't do a single crochet row, I just wanted to end it with spikes. So, but you can go on to making this as long as you need it to be, and this is the hat now. This is what it looks like, so you can end it here. I'm gonna grab my yarn needle real quick and sew in this end. Okay, Okay, so you're basically just repeating rounds 13 and 14. Well, but you're not changing color every row, you're just changing color after the single crochet row. Okay, because the new color then would be the spike stitch row, and you're going to do two rows of each color, if that makes sense. So you can change color as many times as you want to. I did my main color just because I wanted this to match the scarf that I made the other day, so I just wanted to match that. But then when you make it come down like this, it looks really cool like this. Awesome. So if you need to measure your hat, like I said though, I will have measurements for different sizes, so if when you're done increasing to the point where you're done increasing, you can do these stitches then for no increases, as long as you need it for the size hat you're making. And I will have a chart. So this is about 8, it's gonna be stretchy, 8.5, almost 9 inches long, which is 22 centimeters. So that's how big this hat is for me. If you need to do more rows to make it for more of a larger adult size, you can go on to making more rounds. But this will be super stretchy and very comfortable around an adult size head. So now let's make this super giant pom. I'm gonna set this aside, and what you need to do is grab 2 pieces of cardboard and cut 2 pieces like this, okay? So it's just basically a C, like a C, letter C here. So you'll need 2 of these exactly the same. Okay, thanks to my dad for cutting this for me, because I failed miserably when I tried cutting my cardboard. And what you need to do is grab the colors you want your pom to be. So I'm going to grab each of the colors that I used in the bottom part of my hat. So I have the, let's see, orange, papaya, Aran, then I have Aruba C, and Jade, and Royal. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I have 6 colors. You can use as many colors as you want, or just 1 strand of yarn if you want a solid pom. And if you have a legit like pom maker, that would probably be a bit better, but I'm cheap and I like to use cardboard. Handmade, homemade is best. So what I'm doing is taking my ends here and taking them and putting them on this side, just like this. Okay, kind of just folding them over that, okay? Then we're going to take these all and wrap as much as we can. Okay, so I'm going to just hold them down and then wrap around just like this. So it's going to be a super colorful pom. Just going to tack those down so I don't have to worry about them. There we go. It's going to be like the biggest pom I've ever made. This thing is huge. It's going to be super fabulous. Awesome. So I'm just going to continue wrapping, make this as big as I want, and I'm going to wrap this all the way around this whole thing until I get to this point here. So I'm just going to keep wrapping and make this as big as I can. And then once I'm done wrapping, I will meet you back up and we will finish making this pom. Alright, so I ended up wrapping it once around and then back around here, so you can see my little ends over here. So I ended up back where I began. This is going to be like the biggest pom I've ever made in my whole life, so hopefully it works out. I'm trimming this now. Okay, same side that the other strands are on here, okay? And what we're going to do now, I'm going to get 2 strands of yarn, super long strands here. Okay, I'm just going to take this Aran color, that should be fine, and I'm going to double it up. Okay, let me get all these yarns out of here. So I just doubled this up, just really super long here, okay? You don't even have to cut that end if you don't want to. And then what I'm going to do is take one side of it, about this long here, and I'm going to go between these 2 pieces of cardboard and just slide it in there. Okay, just like this. Now, you want to be super careful with your scissors when you cut. We're going to keep one side of this yarn on this side, and one as we cut, we're going to trail this along inside. So we're going to cut our yarn between these two layers of cardboard. Be super careful with your scissors, you guys. Okay, we're just gonna it's so thick, it's not letting me cut it. There we go. Okay, but don't let these strands just get everywhere. We have to keep them down on the table and then trail this along here. Okay, keeping this one secure in the center. Okay, and then we're just going to cut between the two pieces of cardboard, and be careful where your fingers are so your scissors don't slip. And I'm just going to cut along here, trailing this along this way, keeping this one in the back here secure. And when I cut all the way around and have this strand all the way around this piece, I will show you how to tie off the yarn, and then I will show we can get rid of the cardboard and we can make or finish our pom. Alright, so I've cut all the way around here. I have these two strands in between the cardboards here. So we're going to pull those tight. Just keep your cardboard secure and everything. Okay, so we're between the two pieces of cardboard. Let's pull this one a little bit. Pull everything tight. That looks so cool. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Okay, so let's tie these two strands in a knot. Just crisscross them, put this one inside, and then pull this tight inside the cardboard. Okay, right in there. Around all those strands, you can see on both sides, they're both sides. We're just going in the center of them, tying them all together. And really, really tight. And you want to pull as tight as you can. You can even kind of separate the cardboard. Alright. And you have to use your super strength to tie them all. Then you can kind of get rid of one and both of the cardboards there. Okay. Keep your thumb down on it. And then tie it again. Just kind of crisscross the two, and if you have an extra hand, you can always have somebody put their thumb in there for you, and then you can just tie this again. And if you want to, you can go all the way to the other side and wrap it on the other side and tie it in a knot that side too. That way it'll be super secure. And I know you can't really see much of anything because there's strands everywhere. I'm trying to separate the strands for you to see. So we're just tying it in another knot. Okay, and you can obviously, oopsie, you can obviously see that there are so many strands that they're not all even, and that's okay. So what we're going to do is keep these two really long, okay? Keep these two really long. You can even hold your piece like this and kind of fluff your big gigantic pom. Kind of fluff it out, but you can see that it's a little uneven. Not terrible, actually. It turned out pretty nicely. But now all you want to do is just give it a little haircut. Just kind of trim to your liking. This looks so good, though. Oh, man. I am super happy with it. But some of the strands are a little bit longer than others, so I just want to make sure I'm going to go in and kind of give it a little trim. Okay. Good. Wow, it actually wasn't that bad. Do you see any odd strands in there? Look good? I'm asking my dad behind me. Does that look good? Okay, cool. So once you have it the way you like it, oh, that's super exciting. You can clear your area, grab your hat, and take those 2 strands. Now we have the 2 strands here. We're going to take our yarn needle and the 2 of the strand, or one side of the strands, yarn our needle with that, go to the top of our hat, okay, around round 1, just go in with that one, okay, and then the other one, yarn your needle with that, and then go in the other side of the hat. Okay, now we're inside of the hat with both of those strands, and all you have to do is tie them in a knot. Just like that. Then we're going to sew in these ends. I don't know if all 4 of these will fit on my needle. 3 of them will. We'll just sew these in underneath the strands here on the inside of this hat. And this strand also. But there it is. This boho pom hat is finished. How super fun is that? Oh my gosh, that was so fun to make. If you learned something and like this video, make sure to thumbs up, subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, and check out my blog, YARNutopia.com. Ooh, there was a loose strand in there. Make sure there's no loose strands in your hat. Fluff up your pom. Enjoy the pattern. Share it with your friends who would like something like this. And check out my other patterns on YARNutopia.com, and be sure to support YARNutopia so you can, or we can, continue this you know, sharing these free patterns. I so enjoyed this. I am super happy with this little pom here. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Thanks to Red Heart Yarns for providing the yarn for this, and thanks to my dad for filming this and helping me out today. I will see you next time. Happy hooking!